Welcome! My name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist here at Fons & Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'm going to show you how to put together the blocks for the quilt called Louisiana Breeze. If you'd like to purchase this pattern, please visit our website. Okay, this is named Louisiana Breeze because actually the block that we're putting together is called Louisiana, and by putting the light background square or rectangles on two sides, I kind of had the pinwheels kind of float through the quilt, so they're blowing in the breeze. So we're going to be using 2.5 inch pre-cut strips, and we're going to add a white just to try and tone it down a little bit and create blocks like these. So beginning, we're going to be cutting from each of our 2.5 inch print strips. I've got one marked here and I'll just open it up for you. You're going to be cutting 2.5 inch squares and 4.5 inch rectangles from each strip, and that means that you can create they can be then used as either the background or these rectangles or as the parts of the pinwheel. So you'll get to use all of the fabrics in each of the placements that you see in the quilt. In order to put these together, what we're going to be starting with is you're going to be cutting your white according to your pattern. You've got rectangles of different sizes, so you've got small rectangles and then you have two larger ones. The larger ones you're going to set aside because those are going to be added to the block at the very end. We're going to start with the smaller rectangles, and in this example I'm going to show you how to put together what we call a flying goose unit. The flying geese are made in many different ways, and this one, since we have pre-cut 2.5 inch strips, we kind of have to go back to a very traditional method. So what we're going to do is take squares and we're going to mark them diagonally from corner to corner. So there's one, and we'll mark a second one. There's a line there, but it got kind of light, so I'm going to mark it just a little darker so you can see it, and I can see it when we go to sew. Now these are going to be placed onto the rectangle one at a time, and what I've done is marked my sewing line from corner to corner, and we're going to open it up like this. We have to make sure that we have this open before we add the second one because of the intersection of the white triangle. So here, we'll put it together, and the nice part about this is that you are sewing right on the line, so you don't have to worry about your 1/4 inch seam yet at this point. So right on the line or right to the edge of the line, diagonally. Now for time purposes, I'm just going to open this up and finger press it, but I would normally take this to the iron and make sure that I open this up all the way and press. And want to make sure that that triangle covers that piece underneath completely. And then I'm going to just use a scissors and I'm going to trim away the excess fabric underneath. Don't waste too much, just some small triangles. And now we're going to add the second square in order to make the triangle on the other side. This is a process that takes a little bit of time, but sometimes there's just a lot of enjoyment just comes from the process of making the pieces that go into our quilts. So each stitch is a work of love. Okay, now we've got that second one on, and again we're going to want to open that up all the way, make sure that it covers that triangle underneath if it's accurate, and then we're going to trim away the extra triangle underneath here. I'm going to take this over to the ironing surface here and give it a nice press so you can see how accurate it came out. If we had more time, we would have pressed in between each one, but there we go. We've got a flying geese unit, and then we're going to be adding to each of those, we're going to add a rectangle so that we would create 4 that match like this. And that creates that pinwheel in the center from the placement that we use. So we're always putting the white triangle towards the center. So we are putting together this, and like this. We've got that pinwheel effect by simply joining these into one row, these into another, and then joining the rows. And then at that point, you're going to be adding the rectangle, there's two long rectangles, one is a little shorter than the other, on just two sides, but always place on the same two sides. I'll show you the back. If you press really well, things will be lay really nice for when you get to your quilting process. You want that to be neat and clean in the back. Okay, now all the blocks look like this, but they're all placed a little bit different in the actual quilt. So follow the diagrams that come with your pattern. We've got great graphic artists that are going to show you exactly the placement. So that white bar is on the lower right-hand side, then it moves to the top right-hand side and dances back and forth, getting that Louisiana breeze, blowing in the breeze kind of look to your quilt. If you'd like to see more of our quilting quickly tutorials, you can visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.